Now on to Princess Catherine, and columnist Charlotte Griffiths has written a really compelling piece about how Princess Catherine's diagnosis shocked her into action to get her health checked. And while this has all been terrible for the princess, it appears to have done wonders for cancer awareness.
Absolutely. And, Princess Catherine and King Charles have both been praised by various cancer charities here in the UK for raising awareness. Them being open about their diagnosis, actually, it does have a spurring effect for the public to get more proactive with their own health, particularly in the case of King Charles, where the condition that he was treated for is very common. I mean, 9 in 10 men over the age of 75 suffer with enlarged prostate. So, it was really good for him to draw awareness to this quite common issue. And also many women, many people in the UK, unfortunately, will get diagnosed with cancer at some point. So it's very brave for Princess Catherine to have come out, especially after the barrage of abuse and conspiracy theories that she was subject to, especially by, so-called feminists that felt the need to bully this grown woman. The question now is what's actually going to happen about it, happen with sort of this increased awareness. It's not a secret that the NHS is struggling to cope with funding cuts and long waiting lists. In the developed world, the UK has some of the lowest and poorest results for clinical outcomes when it comes to the vast majority of cancers. So even if there is increased awareness, will people actually be able to get the help that they need promptly? I don't suspect that will be the case.
Now, lastly, let's reach back to a historical royal scandal and the infamous relationship between Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson. And the UK Telegraph has unearthed some papers and has exclusively reported on a Whitehall plan that could have changed the course of royal history. Can you tell us what it was?
Thankfully, this plan didn't work, but you had members of Parliament trying to actually bribe Wallis Simpson to actually leave Prince Edward and then King Edward, because it was a constitutional scandal that of heights people had never seen before. But I think she felt strong armed by the king at the time, King Edward, to actually marry him. He obviously gave up his crown, and she is notably known to have been very upset about this. She said, "Don't give up your crown," but it was obviously too late. He did abdicate for her. The story between Wallis and Wallis Simpson and Prince Edward is very interesting. I mean, it harks in many ways. There's so many similarities, unfortunately, to Prince Harry and Meghan. An American divorcee that's somehow wormed her way into the royal family. Thankfully, Prince Harry is the spare and not the heir, because that would have been a headache I don't think anyone can handle. But she was known, after she'd fled to France with Prince Edward, to have written to her second husband, second ex-husband, about how she missed him. There were letters that were uncovered allegedly about how she'd like to go back to her old life. This kind of adventurous fling with King Edward got too serious for her, and she actually bit off more than she could chew. Wallis Simpson was never a very straightforward or an uninteresting character, should I say.
That's one way to put it. Esther Krakue, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.